Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today's recording is started down in my kitchen. I found this herbarium collection of old plants on a yard sale. And these are dried, saved plants from 1927 and 1928 with all different kind of beautiful plants. And I'm going to use these old pieces of labels in my journals. I will take some copies, but I will also use them, use the originals, of course. I think that's much more beautiful. So I'm going to show you, these are big. So they are collected in these kind of envelopes. And every family has their own little envelope, and just look at that penmanship. So these are different kind of trees. And they are kind of taped down with old tape. And it's amazing that these are from 1927. I will show you some more. Some of them are, of course, kind of really in really bad condition, but then you have like this. You can almost see the flower still, and it taped down perfectly with the root system. And then you have this label on what it is, and you have where they have picked them and when. 15th of June 1927. The flower is gone, but we still have the leaves here. There we have a little flower. So I'm going to use some of these labels tonight and make some ephemera for my journals. So see you back at the table. Hello my friends, and welcome back to my channel. Oops. You have seen me paint these old labels for plants. It's from 1927, and I have painted these originals. I have taken some copies of them to use later on, but for now I'm going to use the originals. So the color has dried, so I'm just going to do a little bit of doodling on top of them. Just make them stand out a little bit more. I'm using a Pilot G-Tech C4. And this pen is not waterproof, so you can't use it before you paint. Just something little so we can see it a little bit better. And the same with the rose. I'm just lining it out a little bit more. And a little leaf. Simple paintings that all of you can just place on your small labels or in your journals. So let's make something fun. I think that I'm going to do a pocket with a flip to put in some journals. So let's see where I did put my over here. So I'm just thinking I want to do I want it this way so it opens up. And just a little eyeballed mark kind of in the middle. And I'm using dyed paper. And this is just a bit thicker copy paper. I think it's 110 grams. So they are not totally flimsy, a little bit sturdier. So that's 2. We have 3 of these. So let's do one more, some kind of should we maybe use this one? Could be fun. Let's just use this old paper that I have used when I doodle, colored the textile, watercolor textile. So it came through a little bit. So let's start with gluing this down. maybe use some book pages for the inside. I think that we are going to put these cards on the inside, and then I'm going to put a piece of dried flower on this one, put on a little tab and do some kind of decoration with maybe some labels on the outside. That's my plan, at least. So these are a bit, they are kind of glued down just on the edges. They are probably old pre-glued labels, so I'm just going to put in a little bit of glue on the sides so it will stay in place. Or should we have that on the front and maybe embroider something? Let's do this textile instead. They will be a bit heavy, but I think it can be worth it. That will work. Then we need to decide which side we are going to use. I don't think it matters this time. And then the label on top of that. Just putting it down in the middle. I'm going to sew around them on my sewing machine, so I'm just putting them down like that. And the third one, let's use that on this print I made with just simple silicone mat and some plants and black acrylic ink or acrylic color. I'm going to sew that also so we can leave it. I'm not sure how I will put on the flower on this one, so but I don't want to cover up the print. Should we maybe do a flip so we can flip it up? and still see it, the print, and then put the flower back here like that. Yes, that's a nice idea. I always like when it's a bit interactive and you can flip and flop and put and do things in the journal. I think I will put it so we still can see the textile. So. So let's leave that to dry a little bit before we sew it. And then on the inside I want the flower. Should that have any background? Maybe just a little cheesecloth. So we at least have something that is around it, but don't get bulky. I think this can be beautiful. No promises, but at least we are having some fun. Stay. Everything get glued down to my hands. And the same with the other one. that will be enough, so we can see that it's a flip and we have that tab. So the same on this one. Then we are going to do a couple of these to put on the front. I'm going to try to rip it so we get this really nice feeling on the textile. Don't want it to be too nice and neat. I think we'll use those two. I think I will do a little glue and rip on these. Just glue it down and then rip it when it has almost dried, so we get this look of old paper that has been torn off before we put. So those can dry, and then should we maybe do a little bit of embroidery on these, just so that we have something beautiful on the front. It's so flimsy, so I'm going to just put it on a piece of paper while I am do the stitches. I will let these dry a couple of minutes, and then I will sew them or embroider them, and also sew the other ones. So I will speed up the recording a little bit, so you don't need to see me do each and every stitching on this. So back in a second. Sorry guys, I forgot to turn on the camera, but as you can see, it's nothing special about this. Just some simple stitches through the paper and the textile. So let's take this one and see if we can take off the paper. So I'm just kind of taking away the piece that isn't glued down properly. Kind of pulling it through the against the middle of the paper and tear away the loose parts. That. So then some flowers should go into this one, and I got this idea that we maybe could put on a piece of tracing paper on top of the flowers, so they are a bit protected when they are put down. Not on that side. I have to think this side. And then just sew it on top, so, or maybe put a piece of textile so we can flip this too. That could work. Kind of perfect size on that one. That didn't go so well. I think it's about the same size on both. Let's see what paper we have. That's big enough. Maybe we can just take half of this. The tracing paper do not like to get wet, but it will accept it for a small amount, so be kind of careful when you use that. Maybe a glue stick is better for the this kind of plasticky paper. I think we will put it like that. Don't need so much. Shouldn't overdo it. I'm going to sew on my machine on these two, so we have that sewn too, and then I will be back to put everything together. So these are attached to the tracing paper, and we are going to put on flowers and put them down. So let's see if this can work. Yes, nice. That will go for that one. This one, a pinkish one. Maybe something like that. A little bit of pinkish on the right side, maybe. And the last one with the blue. What should we put on that? These ones are small and cute, but let's see if we have something with some color on. These ones could be nice. Maybe we can put these down as flowers up here. That could be really, really beautiful. Maybe one of these two. Let's go with that. Can't almost see it against the brown. It's so thin. So let's glue it down. bit under the stem. This one. Two, and this one. Really fun. Take off the stem on that one too. Beautiful. There, and then I'm actually thinking that we want a little leaf also. I think I will try to go for the glue stick instead on this one. So it stays in place right away. And just secure it with some thicker glue. Perfect. Really like this. We can use it as a big pocket on the back, and then we have this little flip for writing space. We would like to. So let's put down the flip. taking off some of the thick pieces of cheesecloth that are in the way. Is that cute? Flip it up and look at the plant and then flip it down and you can still see it down there. Leave that to dry. Take the next one. That's nice. See, that's through. And then the front piece. Off a little bit so we can see this peek out. Love, love, love. Really nice. And then we have this one. Should you also have a little label? Need another piece. It wasn't. I was a bit too quick to cut. Let's glue it down in the corner. So I think this is what we are going to have time for today. It takes a bit more time when you have to think some at the same time that you do. So thank you so much for keeping me company, and I will of course be back with some more craft, but I really love these and I think they turned out pretty nice. So see you soon again. Until next time, bye bye from Sweden.